Hello there and welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well on today, which is Tuesday. We're going to go straight into this video. Today is probably the first time, me being someone that's exceptionally patient, has a really good temperament about things, and still do, regarding Liverpool and such like that. But I think it's obviously I'm a big supporter of Rhian Brewster. I'm a big supporter of Rhian Brewster and was really looking forward to seeing him perform with Liverpool. Now, Liverpool themselves haven't actually come out and said anything regarding Rhian Brewster and whether he's going to be staying with Liverpool this season in and around the first team, or whether they're going to send him out on loan, or the very real possibility that he could actually be sold with a buyback clause. Liverpool aren't looking to spend a lot this transfer window. I accepted that a long time ago. Some people just will not accept it, and that's absolutely fine. Everybody has a different way of thinking, and everyone's entitled to their way of thinking as well. Obviously, if we're not looking to, buy a great deal, if anything, obviously we've brought in Simicast, but we won't see him for a while because he's got the coronavirus. He fell ill on Greece duty, I think, or back in Greece anyway. So we won't see him for a little bit. We're not going out there, we're not buying attackers. We're not going out there, we're not going to, buy midfielders. Looks like we could be losing Gini Wijnaldum, but we don't know if we're losing Gini Wijnaldum. Defensively, we don't know if we're getting any cover in there, probably going to look within. Obviously the announcement, or one of the key points that was pointed out today, was that Fabinho will be looked at as the emergency cover in defence. If anything goes, tits up in defensively, like injuries and stuff like that, which is a concern as well, because he's obviously our first choice number 6. So then we're looking at, okay, so we could lose Gini Wijnaldum. Fabinho is going to be the go-to emergency cover for centre-back, but if we lose Gini Wijnaldum, we don't really have... You've only got Henderson that could play the 6, and it's not his strongest role. He knows that as well. Thiago, obviously there's no movement on that. No idea. No one knows. If you're in the know, or an ITK or whatever, you don't know what's happening either. So let's not pretend some of us know and some of us don't. None of us do. None of us know what is happening. On the basis of it, if we keep Gini Wijnaldum and stuff like that, I can sort of accept where we are. I was like, all right, our midfield, it was already pretty stacked anyway. We've got Curtis Jones coming through as well. It's not going to be too bad in midfield. Defensively, yeah, it's a little bit of a concern. We've got Simicast, so we've got left-back options, we've got right-back options. Centre-back is a little bit of an issue because we don't look like we've got the numbers. Obviously, Kumetio looks like he's a good prospect. Nat Phillips looks like he's on his way out. You've got Hover as well, but again, these guys are inexperienced. But you could put all your eggs in one basket, and you could use the youth players. All right, I'm absolutely a fan of that, and I'm a huge fan of wanting to bring in more youth players, more guys, like the whole team of Scousers thing that Klopp was on about months ago. I'm a fan of that. Bring them in. Use the youth players. Harvey Elliott as well in that front line. Rhian Brewster, in that front line as well. And then all of a sudden, all of these rumours that he could be going to Sheffield United, could be going to Aston Villa on a permanent transfer. And I look at that and I just think, why? Are we really going to go for, okay, if Bobby Firmino doesn't play, then we'll play Mane down the middle and we'll put Origi out left, when really if you switch those roles, it'll work out a lot better for you. But even then, you can't just go into a season after becoming champions and seeing all the strengthening that's happening. Hell, even Everton have had a better transfer window than us so far. Even Newcastle have had a better transfer window than us so far. Like, they are reinforcing, they are doing well, they're doing it well as well. They're addressing their deficiencies. You could say it's difficult to address your deficiencies when you had the season we had, finishing on 99 points, winning so many games, losing very few, drawing maybe a couple here or there. And it's hard to see where would you make changes in the starting 11 You've got to get sort of past that mentality of like, let's change stuff in the starting 11. And how are we going to reinforce that starting 11? Maybe put a little bit of pressure on that starting 11. And then to hear that Rhian Brewster could be moving on a permanent transfer, possibly with a buyback clause, but we never know. And for a really small fee. I don't understand it. I hope that Rhian Brewster stays at Liverpool, because if it's a substitution, someone's coming on. Someone's got to come on, break the deadlock, and someone is coming on for Bobby Firmino. And you give me the two options of Divock Origi. All right, he's been a hero every now and again against Everton, against Barcelona, Champions League final. Or Rhian Brewster, a young player who has incredible finishing instincts for someone his age. 20 years old. He's got good pace, can shoot inside and outside the box and get it on target, can sometimes get it in the back of the net as well. And he's young. He's young, he's chomping at the bit, he wants his chance to go, wants his chance to impress and get a chance in the Premier League. And I believe he's ready, and so do Liverpool. Because if the rumours that he's being linked to other Premier League clubs proves he's ready in the Premier League. He's ready for the spotlight of the Premier League. We missed out on Timo Werner. Apparently it was all due to the coronavirus, COVID-19. That's why we missed out on Timo Werner. Regardless of whether you believe any of that or if you don't, doesn't matter. But we missed out on Timo Werner. Chelsea snapped him up very, very quickly. We have a young talent in Rhian Brewster. We can't afford to let him go. We can't. It's bad enough sometimes to go into a season as champions. We've seen it before up and down the years where teams win the Premier League and they don't strengthen in the right ways. The two that stand out to me is obviously Blackburn Rovers, when it was the old Shearer and Sutton partnership up front. I don't remember the rest of the team. Didn't go on and strengthen their team to try and fight for the title again. And then Leicester, when they won the league as well, they didn't really strengthen in very many areas, and obviously they became very disjointed as well. And I can't even remember his name, but the manager got sacked. Ranieri, that was the one. He got sacked as well. Look, I'm not saying any of that's on the horizon for Klopp. I'm really not. This whole squad and this club is too well drilled to have such a massive drop off. But where we were last season compared to everybody else that was even around us, even Manchester City, 18 points away from us, every single other team has immediately just gone and bang and bang. And they're all starting to get themselves up more powerful, much more depth, much more quality in all of their teams. I'm glad that we brought in Tsimikas. Really glad that we brought in someone that can not only give us cover at left back, but maybe compete with Andy Robertson as well. But in terms of strengthening elsewhere and having backup for Bobby Firmino, the Rhian Brewster one will really hurt the most if he ends up going on a permanent transfer. If he goes on a loan, that's going to annoy me as well. But at least he would come back to Liverpool. But if he gets transferred permanently, with or without a buyback clause, that's really going to annoy me. 100% going to annoy me, because we miss out on a massive transfer target in Timo Werner, gets snapped up by a Premier League rival in Chelsea. We have a young talent in Rhian Brewster, and then we're going to go sell him to another Premier League club. I don't like that, and I think if it happens, it's a mistake. Obviously, it seems like it's just rumours, but where there isn't smoke without fire. There's got to be something in it somewhere. And this is the first time that I've really been annoyed with Liverpool in the last couple of years, like properly annoyed with what we're doing. But we do look like we've stood still. We brought in Tsimikas quite early on and we thought, all right, we're going to get a little bit of business done here. Then did nothing. The whole Gini Wijnaldum, Thiago saga, it's gone on for too long. People need to come out and just say, It's not happening. This isn't happening. We're not doing it. Thiago's not coming. Gini Wijnaldum's staying, or Gini Wijnaldum going. Gini Wijnaldum goes, and we don't bring in another midfielder. We've weakened ourselves again. That's not something that I really want to comprehend at this moment in time. I want Rhian Brewster to stay at Liverpool. And I want Rhian Brewster to get a chance at Liverpool. I think he deserves it. I think I think he would be very good if he gets a chance. I really do. And if you're willing to sell him to another Premier League club, you are proving that he's ready for the Premier League by selling him to a Premier League club. How that doesn't compute with people, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't get it. I really want the player to stay. I'm quite annoyed. I was going to do my Let's Learn About Leeds video tonight, but I'm not in the mood to do that, so I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then Fulham, West Brom, and then we get onto match previews and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just annoyed, and I think quite a few people will be annoyed as well. I'm definitely not saying anything like FSG out or anything like that, but we just need some clarity on what Liverpool are actually doing in the transfer market. And you know what? I say that, I don't think we're going to get it. We're not going to get clarity. People aren't going to come out and just say, oh, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're planning on doing. We're not going to get that. We'll get to the transfer window ending and stuff like that, and maybe something will happen. But I don't think Liverpool are going to sign anybody. And if we're not going to sign anybody, we shouldn't be letting people go. Not in my opinion, anyway. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Please do get your comments and thoughts down in the comments box below. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.